Hello everyone and welcome to Autocrat. This is episode 64, Iliad part 4, Divine Booty Call.
It's great, but it's part 6.
This is Iliad...
Take 2.
Take 2. This is episode 64, Iliad part 6, Divine Booty Call. Because I cannot read Roman numerals apparently.
Really not.
Also, apologies, we kind of forgot to post out an episode last weekend, so you know.
Yeah, we had a lot going on. Life happens.
Yeah. So we're back! Now, we left off with the end of book 12 of the Iliad.
I can confirm that is book 12 because it says XII for the benefit of the tape.
With the Greeks having been pushed back to their ships by Hector and his men breaching the wall. So let's jump right back in again with book 13. Zeus turns away from the fighting and stares off toward the west and towards various people.
I mean, it's important to do a bit of sightseeing.
It is. We get various one-liners about them.
We do.
Apparently, the Thracians breed horse, the Hippomorgi drink horse milk, the Abii are the most lawful people on the planet, and the Mysians are noted as fighters.
Nice.
Zeus does not think about Troy again, thinking that no other gods would help his side.
Sure.
Now, we're going to stop for a minute to ask the question. Are these people real?
Sure.
Now, Thrace was also historically a real region around about where Bulgaria and the European part of Turkey is today. Thrace's kings are also mentioned during the reign of Tiberius by the historian Tacitus, so yes, Thrace is historical. Apparently they are famous as breeders of horse, so yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Now, the Abii. For this, we turn to a book called The Dictionary of Greek and Roman Geography. Apparently the Abii, or Abii...
Abii.
Abii.
There's two I's in there, and we know Roman numerals are a thing you struggle with, so consecutive I's are a problem.
They're a Scythian group. Scythian people group, as are the Hippomorgi. Apparently Homer must have heard about a people group to the north whose livelihood was based around horses, and the epithet he used to describe them later got conflated as separated people group. So what this dictionary is saying is that the Abii and Hippomorgi are the same people.
Okay.
The Scythians were a group originating in Iran, but they ended up moving west toward the area of the south of Russia and Ukraine. Finally, the Mysians are based in Thrace.
Nice. So these are real people that Zeus is just randomly staring off towards.
Yeah.
I don't know why Homer included that, but it's fun.
Anyway, back to the Iliad. Zeus isn't exactly right in his assumption. That is because Poseidon is also looking down on the battlefield from the highest mountain in a forested region called Samothrace. That is an island in the north of the Aegean Sea.
Okay.
He's got a good view of both sides and can see the Greeks getting beaten up. Now he's angry with Zeus.
Ooh.
For a reason.
Well, because the Greeks are getting beaten up.
Well, yes.
Namely those reasons.
Yes. He takes 4 huge steps toward Aegi, a port town in Cilicia, so where Turkey bends down towards Syria, and the ground quakes as he moves. So he walks from Greece to Syria in 4 steps. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But also it's Poseidon, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he reaches his golden palace in a lagoon and gets his chariots out. They all have chariots. It's a saying.
Yeah, it's a real thing in the Iliad.
The beast of the ocean makes way for their monarch as he rides out the sea itself, giving way as he roads back toward the Greeks.
Oh, that would be a cool poster.
It's giving Moses.
Yeah.
He halted in a cave near some island off the Turkish coast to tie up his horse and then traveled to the Greek lines.
Okay, so he went to the east to get the chariot and then back west to drop off the chariot. Why was the chariot needed?
We arrived to see the Trojans rushing forward and apparently not wasting their breath on the war calls.
See, that's what I see every time there's a fight scene in every movie or series. Don't waste your time yelling, just do the hitting.
Yeah, you do say that a lot. Poseidon emerges from the water to encourage the Greeks. He speaks through Calchas, that prophet we mention every now and then, and encourages the 2 Ajaxes. He tells them to make a stand and act as a rallying point for the Greeks. Hector might be fighting like he's a demigod son of Zeus right now, but the Trojans can be prevented from reaching the ships. Poseidon boops them with his staff and gives them new courage. Boop!
Yes, that's how it went.
He then left.
Nice.
The Ajaxes realize it was a god talking to them and launch forwards, while Poseidon flits in and out of the rank rallying Greeks. So the Greeks begin pulling themselves together. The Trojans rushed forwards with Hector in the front. He would have reached the sea itself had the unstoppable force of the Trojan not crashed into the immovable object of the Greek. Hector encourages his men, saying the Greeks will not stop him long. A brother of his, called Deiphobus, starts pacing round at the front, swinging his shields about, clearly full of confidence.
Oh, he's strutting.
A Greek flings a spear at him, and it hits him in the shield. The spear breaks. The Greek pouts about the loss of the spear and goes to fetch another one from his tent.
Oh, he's stroppy.
Like you, sometimes.
I mean, I haven't lost a spear throwing it at Deiphobus, but sure.
The battle begins. We get more generic killing, including of the husband of one of Priam's illegitimate daughters.
I mean, that man was like a son to Priam.
Yeah, well, he gets a spear in the ear and die.
Oh, what is with spears in unusual places?
His killer would have looted the body had Hector not thrown a warning spear to discourage him. We also get a grandson of Poseidon killed, which Poseidon is not happy about.
I wonder why.
Accordingly, he goes to the Greek camp to rouse them and hurt the Trojans. He runs into Idomeneus, a man renowned for his spear skills. The man had been helping look after one of his injured men. Poseidon imitates someone else and gets Idomeneus to follow him into the battle. He runs into his nephew, that pouty spear guy, by the way.
Oh, he's still sulking.
Yes. He lets him use a spear, he's looted off his dead Trojan enemy, hardcore since he's got about 20 of them, and then join the fray.
Oh, it's like a kid on a road trip. Okay, will you come with me if I give you a spear? If I buy you a spear, can we just go?
Now, right off the bat, Idomeneus kills a man called Otrioneus. This man had asked to marry Cassandra, who is explicitly called the prettiest of the daughters of Priam. Yeah, I know I am. Priam said yes because Otrioneus was working for him in the war as repayment.
Well, that's done now.
Otrioneus gets a spear in the stomach, for goodness sake, and dies while Idomeneus mocks him. Rude.
Yeah, I mean, Idomeneus grabs his foot and pulls him through the fighting while killing someone else who tries to stop him. This is Asius, the stepson of Priam, by his first wife, Arisbe. Are you sensing a theme with Priam probably feeling increasingly unhappy as we go on?
Mm-hmm.
Idomeneus next kills a son-in-law of Anchises. Apparently, Anchises has a daughter called Hippodamia, so, Aeneas has a sister. I have no idea if she's a daughter of Aphrodite or else of another wife, Archaeopress. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole trying to find it out.
Well, she's a widow now anyway.
Yeah.
So he next challenges Deiphobus, who asks Aeneas if he will help him. Aeneas is not happy about his brother-in-law's death and heads off towards Idomeneus with a terrible expression. I can just imagine him being like...
I mean, the text talks about how terrible Aeneas is, but sure, we'll imagine him just doing that noise.
Idomeneus asks for backup given how powerful Aeneas is.
Well, yeah.
I thought it was irrelevant.
Well, yeah, have you heard him going brr, 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 brr? It's pretty scary. He was also saying things like, what was that chant from last time you had? Something like, hey, 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 we're getting ready, or whatever it was.
Anyway, Aeneas calls for backup. We then get more fighting and more killing by these two groups.
Yeah, you know the drill.
Deiphobus tries to kill Idomeneus, but it's a son of Ares. When Ares finds out, he wants to go and help, but Zeus forbids it.
You're grounded, young man.
You can't go, don't do anything, stay right where you are.
I will turn this Olympus around.
Deiphobus gets hit with a spear. Again. Well, not again, but
Well, again for the how many people get hit by them, sure.
And has to be taken off the field by his brother Polites.
I think it's Polites, but I like to imagine him in a full suit walking around the battlefield. Oh, I say, my dear chap, you appear to have been inconvenienced by a spear. Here, let me help you.
Good.
Good. While he's doing that, we'll get on with the rest of it.
Helenus and Menelaus are fighting as well, with Menelaus getting hit by an arrow in the chest, but it bouncing off. Oh no, it's an arrow, not a spear. Boring. Helenus gets hit in his bow and hand with a spear. Good! And it goes directly through his hand and into the bow.
Less good.
Helenus retreats.
I wonder why.
Menelaus carries on killing, vowing the Trojans will not reach the ships.
And Polites says, oh, I hate to bother you, my dear chap, but I rather think we will.
Also.
Yes?
One man gets an arrow in the buttock.
Oh. I mean, oh.
It even pierces his bladder and hits the
Ow!
I mean, he collapses and dies.
Yeah,
but it's cool!
Understandable. I don't think he thought it was cool.
Now, that particular death, angers Paris, as he had been a host to the man, and he kills another man.
I mean, we do know that it's very important to Paris that you don't do anything to offend your host, and that host relationships are very important. So all you do is steal your host's wife, but nothing more than that. Very important.
Now, cut back to Hector.
Zoop. Okay, that camera panning was very disorienting. Was that man in a tux?
He doesn't know that the Greeks are routing the Trojan on the left flank. He's still in that bit of the wall where he broke through in a very cool manner.
Oh yeah, with the dust and the sun behind him and his hair rippling in the breeze.
The Trojans are getting heavily fired at and might have had to go back to Troy itself had Polydamas not spoken to Hector. He calls Hector stubborn, understandable, and advises one concentrated rush. Hector wanders through the lines trying to get his men to come to him like, hey, come on.
That's the noise he used.
He bumps into Paris. Bump.
Ow!
He rebukes him a bit as a boy toy and seducer of woman, and then asks him where his brother and other men such as that husband of Cassandra are.
Oh yeah, where's that guy? Othrioneus. Where's he? I liked him.
Did you?
No, that's what Hector's saying. You never talked to him, Hector.
Paris insists that Hector is being unfair in having a go at him, but he says that everybody except their brothers are dead. Still, he and whoever else around him will follow Hector. So the two brothers jumps into the very thick of the fighting. Again and again, Hector throws himself at the Greeks, but it does not break the Greek spirit. Ajax challenges Hector,
prophesying
that the time will come when Hector prays to Zeus for horses to carry him off the field. This was back by an omen. Any guess? It's an eagle to the right.
Okay, at least it's a bird thing.
The Greeks are overjoyed, but Hector dismisses Ajax as a clodhopper and that today will be disastrous for the Greeks. If Ajax tries to resist Hector's spear again, he will die like everyone else. The Greeks will die about their ships and their innards will be food for the dogs and the birds.
Wow.
Hector lets out a roar. Roar! And the Trojans rush forward.
With a faint sound of bomb, 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 bomb in the background.
And at the end of book 13.
Yeah.
Now, book 14, and yes, this is 14 XIV.
Yes, good.
Will be finally what the episode is supposed to be all about, a divine bouticle, and I'm going to turn to you to tell it to us.
Nice. Well, I mean, we had to have a bit of suspense, didn't we?
Well, yes.
We open book 14.
Yes, that's what I said.
XIV 14. With the noise of battle being so loud that it interrupts Nestor, who is apparently having a drink in his hut.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's nice that he's helping in the fighting instead of drinking, Nestor. He jumps up and picks up his son's shield. I mean, apparently his son is using his one, which I'm sure could lead to comedy shenanigans. Like if you were doing this as a movie or a skit. Anyway, he rushes out to find the Trojans annihilating the Greeks. Nestor joins Diomedes, Agamemnon, and... who's the failure?
Odysseus.
Oh, Odysseus, who have all been injured. Agamemnon essentially rebukes Nestor for not being there sooner, and they bemoan the fate of the Greeks together for a bit. Agamemnon again proposes just leaving, but Odysseus rebukes him as this will lead to the Greeks being utterly slaughtered while they're getting ready to leave. Agamemnon concedes, but asks if anyone has any better ideas, probably in a really snarky tone. Okay, genius, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Diomedes suggests that, even though they're all injured, they go to the battlefield to see what's what and encourage the Greeks from the sidelines. Poseidon notices them leave and shows up, pretending to be an elderly man. They love doing this.
Yeah, they do.
The elderly man, who is definitely not Poseidon, but smells a little bit of fish, suggests to Agamemnon that Achilles is surely rejoicing in his tent, but that there will be a day when the Trojans flee. With that, he rushes off with a shout loud enough to be that of 10,000 people, his cry rallying the Greeks. I reckon Agamemnon is probably pretty confused at this point, that an old man just came up to him, said something about Achilles, and then ran off. Did he have seaweed in his hair as well? Weird man.
Maybe his hair was seaweed.
Oh, maybe. I think that would ruin the disguise, but absolutely. It's a terrible disguise as well, like seaweed hair... lower half of his body is actively a fish, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, I am human person. Hera notices Poseidon and is gladdened that he's doing something to help the Greeks, but the sight of Zeus watching the battle from Mount Ida disgusts her. After all, he's in Camp Troy, remember?
Mm-hmm.
She wonders what the best way is to distract Zeus.
Well, he's a man, so, easy peasy.
He's a man, she's his wife/sister.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. So, she decides to dress prettily and go to see Zeus. If he, let's say, throws himself at her, she will put him to sleep. So, she cleans herself with ambrosia, uses olive oil as a scent, and dresses with a dress that Athena had made for her. This done, she summons Aphrodite and asks her for a favour. However, she tells Aphrodite a lie.
Oh.
She says that she's going to visit Oceanus and Tethys, who looked after her once she'd been taken away from her mother Rieu when Zeus overthrew Kronos. I mean, I'm pretty sure that messes up our chronology, given that Hera is meant to be older than Zeus, but still, whatever.
Just go with it.
Yeah. Oceanus and Tethys have been separated for a while, and Hera wants to get them to fall asleep, wrapped in each other's embrace, and thus reconcile. So, Aphrodite gives Hera her belt filled with magic and tells her to keep it in her breasts. Hera rushes off through Thrace and towards Lemnos. Here, she finds the god in charge of sleep, who is brother of death. This is Hypnos, brother of Thanatos. She asks Hypnos to close Zeus's eyes after she has been lying in his arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. In exchange, she will give him a gold chair which Hephaestus will make for him. It will even have a footstool. Tempting, huh? He can rest his feet and everything while he eats, huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
that sounds nice.
Huh? Hypnos says that it would be peanuts for him to put any god to sleep, except Zeus, unless Zeus asks him to himself.
I mean, Hypnos learned this lesson from when Hera asked him to put Zeus to sleep after Heracles sacked Troy.
Yeah, she then whipped up a storm and stranded him on Kos, separated from everyone else, so Heracles was in a bit of a pickle that time. Zeus had been enraged when he woke up, flinging the other deities about. If he'd found Hypnos that time, Hypnos would have been thrown into the sea, and in fact it was only Nyx who sheltered him.
Yeah, so I guess that's why he's hesitant.
Yeah, understandably. Hera, nonetheless, persists, offering up one of the Graces as a bride. Nice they asked the Graces about this and definitely got consent beforehand. Anyway, Hypnos accepts, asking for Pasithe. P-A-S-I-T-H-E-E. I'm not quite sure how you say that, but Hypnos must have known how to say it because he had a crush on her for his whole life. So, it's arranged. Hera and Hypnos hide in the clouds and travel to Mount Ida. Hypnos climbs up the tallest tree and hides, while Hera travels to the tallest peak called Gargarus. Zeus sees her and is filled with lust, just as he had been when they'd been in love and gone to bed without their parents' knowledge. Again, messes up our timeline, don't worry about it. He asks why she's there, and Hera repeats the same story about Oceanus and Tethys. She says that she wanted to see Zeus before she went to see them, knowing he might be angry if she went without his knowing. Zeus tells her to put that off, it's time to, and I'm going to quote my version here, quote, enjoy the delights of love, end quote. We all know what that means.
We really do.
Even when he fathered all his illegitimate children, apparently, he never felt such quote-unquote desire as he does now. Hera pretends to be shocked. My lord, there's no private space on Ida. What if one of the other gods sees them and goes to inform the others? It would be scandalous. No, if they're going to do this, it needs to be in the bedroom that Hephaestus made for him. It's got thick doors, after all. Zeus persists, saying she doesn't need to worry about that. He's gonna, hide her in a gold cloud, which is too thick to see through. Not even Helios will see them. Yeah, that's it. Zeus scoops up Hera, and the ground creates a bed of grasses and flowers for them. Let's say, later, Zeus falls asleep. Hypnos flies to Poseidon and says that if he's going to do anything, do it now as Zeus is asleep. We don't know why, don't ask any questions. Hypnos leaves and Poseidon rallies the Greeks to push forwards. The injured kings, remember Agamemnon, Diomedes, and the failure, prepare their soldiers and make sure everyone's got the best equipment for the fight. Poseidon leads the charge against the Trojans himself. Hector, for his part, prepares his army. Poseidon and Hector's forces battle each other, with Hector wasting a spear throw at Ajax's chest armour and running back to the Trojan lines fearing for his life. Ajax hits Hector with a boulder, sending him spinning. Subtle. The Greeks rush at Hector, but Polydamas, Aeneas, and the others protect him, escorting him away while covering him with their shields. They resuscitate him with water on his eyes. I don't know if that will help. He's got a boulder. He throws up blood for a bit, and then faints.
Woof.
For now, I think you can guess.
He's out of the battle.
He's out of the battle. This rallies the Greeks, and they rush forwards again. We get a lot of killing by the Greeks, including a man getting a spear
No.
in the
No.
eye, travel all the way through his neck.
No, please no.
The point is, the Greeks are now destroying the Trojans, and one of them might need some eye care soon.
Yes.
And that is the end of Book 14.
Very nice, or very,
Nice for Zeus.
grim.
Fun for Zeus, at least.
And Hera. I'm sure she had fun too.
Yeah. I mean, for everyone else, terrible, but... Actually, that's kind of the theme of the Iliad.
Well, anyway, thank you all for listening, and have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week.